The wind howled through the Rocky Mountains like a living thing, rattling the wooden walls of the small log cabin. Snow fell heavy and relentless, erasing the narrow trail that led down the mountain. Night was closing in fast. Emily Carter stood on the porch, her thin coat pulled tightly around her trembling body. She had never imagined her life would lead her here, alone, freezing, and completely at the mercy of a stranger, a mountain man. He stood several feet away, tall and broad-shouldered, his dark beard dusted with snow. His name was Caleb Stone, a man known in nearby towns as a ghost, someone who lived far above civilization and spoke to almost no one. "I can sleep in the barn," Emily said softly, her voice shaking more from fear than cold. "I don't want to trouble you." Caleb's sharp gray eyes met hers. They were unreadable, hardened by years of isolation and survival. "No," he said firmly. "You'll sleep next to me." Emily's heart skipped. She took a step back. I didn't mean like that," she stammered. I don't want to be a burden." Caleb sighed, rubbing his face with a rough hand. "Listen to me," he said, his voice low but steady. "The barn has holes in the walls. The temperature will drop below 0 tonight. You won't survive." She swallowed hard. "My bed is closest to the fire," he continued. "That's where you'll sleep. I'll stay on the other side. Nothing will happen. But if you freeze out there, you'll die." Silence hung between them, broken only by the crackling fire inside the cabin. Emily nodded slowly. She had no other choice. A stranger's shelter. Inside the cabin, warmth wrapped around her like a forgotten memory. The space was simple. One room, a small kitchen corner, a table carved by hand, and a bed covered in thick animal furs. Caleb tossed another log onto the fire and handed her a wool blanket. "Sit," he said. She obeyed, watching him quietly. Everything about him spoke of strength and loneliness. The scars on his hands, the way he moved like he was always listening for danger. "What were you doing out there alone?" he finally asked. Emily hesitated, then spoke the truth. "I was supposed to be married tomorrow." Caleb paused. "I ran away," she continued. "Not because I didn't love him, but because he wanted to own me, control me. I couldn't breathe anymore." Caleb nodded once, understanding more than he let on. "You're safe here," he said. "The night that changed everything." When night fully settled, the storm grew worse. The fire dimmed, and the cabin creaked under the weight of the wind. Emily lay stiff on the edge of the bed, staring at the ceiling. Caleb lay on the opposite side, a careful distance between them. But as the hours passed, the cold crept in. She shivered uncontrollably. Without a word, Caleb shifted closer and pulled another fur blanket over both of them. "Body heat," he said quietly. "Don't overthink it." She hesitated, then relaxed. For the first time in months, Emily felt safe. Not desired. Not controlled. Just protected. Morning light. Sunlight streamed through the window the next morning. The storm had passed. Emily woke to the sound of birds and the warmth of the fire rekindled. Caleb stood by the door, pulling on his boots. "The trail will be clear by noon," he said. "I'll walk you down the mountain." She sat up, her chest tight with emotions she didn't expect. "Thank you," she said, "for saving my life." He met her eyes. "You saved yourself," he replied. As she stepped outside, Emily realized something important. She had come to the mountain running from fear. She was leaving it knowing what safety truly felt like. And Caleb Stone stood watching as she disappeared. Down the trail, knowing stories don't end with possession. They end with respect.